E aí galera que tá ligadaço no Stay Rock Brasil, beleza? Falo aqui diretamente do Arena Viena, na Áustria, com Lenny, guitarrista e vocalista da banda Dust Bolt. Lenny, how are you, man?
Hey, nice to meet you. Doing
Man, pleasure having you with us, honestly.
Thank you very much.
Man, by the way, awesome show. I wish I could say like F was a F show, but I can't because you know. Man, you guys really like blew my mind today because I saw you guys on YouTube.
Yeah.
But live was like, it was like everybody shirtless. I was like, what is that thing? Hair's flying and then the whole thing. Explain me how does the energy?
How is it coming together?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's an honor for me if you say like you were like blown away, because that's
I'm honest.
Yeah, that's what we're really trying to do. The thing is, you know, we are like rock and metal fans by ourselves. We go to many shows, to many concerts and stuff. And what we felt like in the last, or what we try to achieve is to break out a little bit of something that is just like, you know, I won't say repeating itself, but it's like, if I go to a show, there's like, it's cool, it's a rock show, it's a metal show, I love it, but there's nothing happening which I wouldn't expect. So we ask ourselves, what can we do to go beyond expectations, to do something like people wouldn't expect, you know, just to get the attention, and to get like people even to the point that they listen to the music. And that's like the reason we're thinking of things, how we can make our shows different every time people see us. Every time we come to Vienna, for example, like we wanted the show to be different in some way.
So more catchy, more attracting, fishing the people out.
Yeah, and just make it interesting somehow. Make it interesting. Not just, you know, not just like go and play, but just like trying to make it interesting. And we ask ourselves, okay, how can we do that, and what can we do for it? And there's like, actually there's two things how we see how we can do that. It's like creativity and like working as hard as possible. We don't have any crew or something, and we'll kind of like a couple of things on stage, you know, like with the banners and backdrops falling down, and like fog machines and stuff, and like an acoustic guitar coming, which is a lot of to do in a 30-minute set, which we are doing on this tour. It's like, how can we put a show which feels like a show in an arena for the people? You know, we want them to feel like, wow, this is like huge. There's something happening. These guys are working hard. How can we put that into 30 minutes? And it takes a lot of energy and like hard work to do that, but it's super fun for us, and it's great to be out on this tour. You know, trying new stuff, trying some different stuff than we did before. Like we have a new band member now who's really energetic and really like pushing the band forward. So at the moment, this all like feels really good, and I'm really excited about the whole future.
Nice.
It's coming.
Awesome. And talking, since we talk about shows and stuff, about the tour, when started, and I from what I've seen on Facebook, it's a long tour, right? You guys are going to be doing shows.
Yeah, it's 16 shows. It's 16 shows in a row, which is absolutely fine. There's no day off, which is like absolutely doable for us, as far as we only play like 30 or 35 minutes each night. Well, like for the Unearthed guys who are like doing, I think they're doing 60 minutes or something, or 65. I know that it's like a tough thing to do 16 shows in a row without a day off, and we have long drives and stuff like that. So yeah, it's tough, but it's doable. And for us, it's, you know, I don't like off days too much, so
it's kind of boring. What to do, like
it's
the tour bus.
It's good to just charge your batteries, of course, and you know, maybe sit together with the other guys of the tour and like not have to set up gear and stuff, and just, you know, do barbecue or whatever. This is really cool, but otherwise I just, you know, you're trying to get better every show, you're learning every show, you're like trying to get on a level where you just, I don't know, trying to be the best band you can be, and when you have a day off or something, there's always like this kind of break, it's like, oh, come on, man.
I want to go back to stage
like,
again.
I made a little mistake yesterday. I want to do it better now, or tomorrow.
Oh.
So
I hear
yeah, but it's a cool tour. 16 shows in total. Then we're off in March. We're back home, and in April we have another like 18 shows with Terror and Cancer Bats.
Wow. And this tour started in Germany, or where's?
It started in Netherlands, Eindhoven, which is not so far from Germany, but still like an 8-hour drive from our hometown. And yeah, it started in Netherlands. We went up to London, UK, down to Belgium, some Germany, now Austria, Vienna. We've been in Budapest, and Czech Republic. Yeah.
When the interview goes, like about the label, about this, and that. But I'm sure there's like crazy stories or funny stories about the tour. Anything you go like, wow, man, this is half crazy, you know.
You know, just at some points I'm in the bus like we are looking to each other, the band members, like just starting to laugh and looking at each other and be like, this is so crazy what we're doing here. Because just imagine 25, 26 people, 26 dudes in one bus.
No chicks, nothing.
And like, we have 2 girls on the bus, yeah, who are great. But just imagine like 26 people in one bus, and it's just not 26 people, it's like 26 musicians. You know, it's 26 artists and crew, you know, rock and roll guys. So it's a really funny thing to do, and just, you know, driving around Europe and setting up your shows every night and playing. I mean, so even the whole idea of touring is absolutely crazy in some ways, but it makes it so it's like another world that you dive into once you just, you know, start rolling, and you just, all you care is about the next, you know, the next venue, the next show, the next gig. Exactly. Like, we played a show tonight, and like, I just met my mom because she's here at the show, and she was asking me like, you know, what's going on in your mind? Like, are you missing home or anything? The only thing I care about is like, the show tomorrow. I have to go to Italy somehow, I don't care how. I just want to have my like 35 minutes and play the show again tomorrow. And that's like the only thing you care about when you're on tour, is like music and the whole thing that comes with it while touring. And that is like something really special, because you can really dive deep into it and forget about the whole rest of the world for 2 weeks at least.
Man, this is awesome. I mean, I've been talking to some other people, like, I mean, some other guys, some other bands before, and they told me the same thing. Like, you jump on the stage, and then the stage is your life.
Exactly. The whole, you know, it's like we're out 16 days for like 24 hours. We're setting up gears for like 4 hours. We're packing the gear for 2 hours. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of driving, a lot of like sleeping in some kind of unknown situation with 26 people in a bus, like in a bunk like that small.
Like a coffin.
All of this leads to one thing, and that is like the 30 minutes or the 60 minutes, whatever, on stage playing music. And that's like, this means so much to musicians, to people like us, or Unearth, or Prong, or Sinaro, that it's worth, you know, doing all this, the rest around it, because this means so much, like, to an artist. And then if you go out on stage and you see like there's people down there like
appreciating your music,
like being excited about your music, just like being like, wow, what's happening here? This is like the best thing.
It's a paid off.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a paid off.
Yeah.
I hear him.
It's a beautiful thing.
Lenny, talking about the band history, like, how did you guys start it? When? Tell me all about it. Or tell us.
Yeah. It's basically, I grew up in a musician's family, so I was like picking up the guitar quite early, and I was like looking for, you know, then I explored metal music, I explored rock music, and I was looking for other people to join me, you know, to form a band and stuff. And our former bass player, Ben, he was with me in school, and so I was like, hey dude, should we like jam a little bit in school and stuff? And so it just came together. He knew Nico, our drummer, he knew Flo, our guitar player, so like we were all living in a small village outside of, like an hour away from Munich, like in Bavaria, a small village, nothing happens there. But there was us, like 4 guys being into punk rock, being into metal music, and then, yeah, we just, since then, you know, we're like 13 years old, really, and we started playing the first gig, and after that we just never stopped. Like, since then, for us, it was like the most important thing, the priority, and like the dream we were chasing was the bands ever since. And we started booking our own shows, we started playing youth clubs, we started playing, you know, in Bavaria, and we couldn't drive by ourselves because we were too young, so we like took the train 15 hours with all our gear to somewhere to play a show in front of 10 people for no money, you know, just because we wanted it so much. We wanted the experience, the adventure, everything that comes with it.
Guys put a lot of effort.
And that's what we did over the last years. Of course, it was like, I think the last year maybe was like a little bit more silent for a short while when it comes to touring, and now we're all like totally back into it and like want to tour as much as possible.
Interesting, brother. Interesting. Lenny, a lot of people, I mean, I'm sure you have seen that as well. A lot of small bands or young bands, they come and they think like, okay, I played for my first gig, I played for 5 people, I mean, I played for 10 people, 20 people, whatever. Someone took a picture of me and then all of a sudden I'm a rock star. It's not like this, right?
No, it's not like this.
Tell us, because a lot of people think, a lot of young bands thinking like, oh, I'm there and then all of a sudden I'm a rock star.
Not at all. You're not. You're not. No, that's like a, no, that's just like, no, you're not. You know, it's just to put it on a general level, I think that everybody, like every person on this world has a talent, and every person has something that he loves to do, has a passion. Whether you know it already or you still have to figure it out. And like for us, it's like doing this, you know, like being crazy, playing shows, doing music, but that doesn't mean it's like that you're something different or better than anything else, so anybody else, so, you know.
Still talking about the little bands, they wanted to be rock stars or whatever they want to be. What tips you would give to these guys, like, you know, trying to grow as a band? What's the do and don'ts? In your own experience, like?
Yeah.
Or from your own experience, actually.
I think an important thing is like to be a band. Like the whole band, you should know. I can tell now. That doesn't mean like I'm absolutely right, because you know everybody, like I make mistakes too, of course. But I think an important thing is to make sure, where do we want to go as a band? What is like the vision? What is like the dream? Where we want to, like, you know, that we want to chase and achieve when we're doing this. So I think it's good if like everybody in the band has the same idea of where the band wants to go. Because if you're like, you know, if you're starting, if you're just like, no, this is just like, I'm just playing for fun and still want to, I don't know, like get a real job and like build a house or something, absolutely fine, you can do it. But if you're like, if you want to do more than that, if you really want to make this some kind of your job because you just want to do it all the time, then, you know, then you have to act differently. Then you have to really be into it, and then you really have to bring sacrifices, and you really have to like change your whole life into this direction. And so I think it's important to make sure where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and if you know that, and if you say yes, I want to do that,
just go for it. Like,
just go for it. Just go for it. Don't think too much. Tour, play. Just go out there, make your thing. And if you put hard work into it, I think at some point people will realize it. And, you know, it's like a boomerang that comes back to you and helps you like growing.
Cool, man. And Lenny, biggest show you guys ever played? Wacken or bigger than that, eh?
Could have been Bakken, but we played Hellfest a couple of years ago, and that was crazy. Yeah, it was like 1 p.m. or something, or 12, like midday or something, and we didn't expect it to be like this crazy. But like when we finished the set, it was just this whole tent was just packed with people, even outside. So it was really cool. I don't know how many people it was, like were there, but I think we're many. And probably Bakken. I don't know. It's like it's close.
It's kind of like head to head.
Yeah, head to head. Yeah.
And also like talking about the music and stuff, the sound. I mean, one thing I'm very curious about is how did you guys get your sound? Because to me, as a Brazilian, you guys sound like the old Sepultura, to be honest. Also, you guys have this, I don't know, this sprinkle of Anthrax. And I was like, what is, and also the punk thing. Yeah. How did you guys?
Yeah, I mean, sound-wise, I think one thing is that we don't tune our guitars down or something, and we are using the same kind of amplifiers for quite a while now, so we're really like we know how we want like the guitars to sound. And the punky thing is, you know, we grew up with punk a lot. It's like first friends, you know, just a 12-year-old kid, like the first, you know, you go to a show and you meet like this punk guy, and he's like, hey, here's a tape, check this, and, you know, like, so we grew up a lot with punk, and I'm a Bad Brains fan, Black Flag, and, you know, all the California stuff, and like we're skating and stuff. So it's like the punky thing is it's important for us. We love to go. We have a lot of friends who play in hardcore bands and punk bands and stuff. So that's it's always been a part of our life. Not so much musically, but somehow you still, you know, feel it. And you still get to. It still finds its way into our stuff that we do.
Gotcha. Lenny, about like writing songs. I mean, how does the band do? Do you guys like have this? Okay, you play riffs, you write songs, you guys go all together. How does it work?
I can't really, you know, I heard this question like a couple of times, and I can't really tell. There's no real way we do it, because it has been different every album that we wrote, and every album sounds different. Also because of that. And now we got like Mosey joining the band, and remember, he's like me and Tim. We were writing songs and doing stuff apart from Dust Bowl like for a year now. Then he joined the band, and so there might be like a completely new way of writing songs now. But basically, it's like there's this like main idea, this main vision of a song, and there might be like lyrics, and there might be a riff or a whole song or whatever, or a drum beat. There's this main idea of a song, and one or like it's me. A lot of times it's me, or it's Flo, our guitar player, now also Mosey. We're just bringing it into the band, you know. Just go into the rehearsal room and be like, okay, I got this idea, I got this vision, let's check this, like, you know. And then we just like go for it and work on it, and until we find like, okay, this is it. And then little detail here and there, little detail here and there. So yeah, that's how you hear it.
And the last album you guys released was Trapped in Chaos, right?
Yeah.
If you can go like not tell the whole thing, but like, you know,
yeah.
If you can guide me through like how was recording it, who produced it, you know.
It's been the same people who we worked with on the previous albums already. Trapped in Chaos was like, it's just like, it sounds a little bit different than the rest before. And it's like the way the band developed at that point of time, and it's a development which I really like, and I'm singing more, you know. Songs are a little bit slower in some points, and a little bit darker, and so we got a little bit more space for reverbs and delays, and like a fat long snare and stuff like that. So Trapped in Chaos was like, we just wanted to work on ourselves and on the songwriting that we did, and focus more on the songs themselves. That's what we did on Trapped in Chaos, and so we just with this ideas we went to our producers, the studio we all always work with, and just did it.
And also Trapped in Chaos was produced by Napa Records.
Yeah, they brought it out. Exactly.
They brought it out.
They brought all the albums out so far.
Awesome. And since we're talking about this record, this stuff, yesterday you guys released the Chaos
Chaos Possession.
Possession, and I listened, I was like, fuck, I mean, F! I'm not allowed to say the F word on the camera,
F.
but F! So, tell me, like, man, how did you guys...
Come up with this song?
Yeah, I mean, it was something like, I was like,
That's a good bridge to your previous question, because like Chaos Possession was we did a demo tape in 2009, so I was like 16 years back then, 16 years old. The others like 12. We had a demo, our first demo tape, which was called Chaos Possession. We had the song Chaos Possession, and for Trapped in Chaos, we found like I went more melodically, vocal-wise on Trapped in Chaos, so it felt for us like we were going back to our really roots.
back to the roots.
Back to the first demo tape, where we just, like grabbed the guitar and just played, because we didn't overthink too much. We just did what we wanted to do at that point. And so we thought of why not just taking Chaos Possession, that song from the first demo tape, and re-recording it while we were doing Trapped in Chaos. And we didn't release it so far, so we had the idea of bringing it out during this tour, just to give something to the people like who saw us on the shows and be like, okay, there's still new stuff coming out all the time, still something happening, and we still have this song, and I think it's like a catchy and groovy song.
It is.
It's like a real headbanger and stuff, and we play like the outro riff of that song, we played live, so yeah, it was like a gift for everybody who's, always, fans and everybody who's checking out Dustbolt all the time, it's
awesome. And Lenny, since we're talking about this new release, was yesterday, any plans like for new record this year, next year? If you can say, if you can't, it's fine.
Yes, there are plans. We are hungry, we want to write songs, we have super cool riffs and ideas, so we're just, we're now going on tour and playing and collecting new input and new inspiration, but we already have like some good material, and I can't tell when, but I'm sure we're gonna start working really hard on a new album this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lenny, my man, mega pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And stay
Thanks for having me.
No, pleasure. Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much.